this video, we're going to be going over some super radical, important, yet pretty simple ideas. We are going to learn how to factor expressions of this form, but specifically we're going to learn why it works. In a later video, I'm going to go over a boatload of practice problems. So this says x squared plus b times x plus c. B and c are just constant numbers. Let's assume that they're integers, right? Numbers on those number line, the whole numbers and their opposites. And then this is a 1 out in front. So what we're going to learn is that to factor this, you're going to find the numbers that multiply to c that add to b, or the factors of c that add to b. We're going to learn why that works. We're going to do that by actually starting out with the answer. So this is actually the end result that we want. You are used to, at this point I hope, foiling that. If not, go back and watch my earlier videos on how to distribute and foil. So all I'm going to do is foil like normal, but we're going to notice what's happening here. X times x is x squared. That's a funky looking x right there. X times 4 is 4x. So you get plus 4x. Negative 6 times x is minus 6x. Negative 6 times 4 is negative 24. Okay, I'm going to stop there, and I'm going to point out that something very important is happening here. We have that the factors of 24 are here and here, right? 6 times 4, specifically negative 6 times 4, multiply to 24. They are the factors of 24, and they will add, because they're like terms, to get you that middle term. Okay. So again, x squared plus 4x plus a negative 6x is minus 2x minus 24. Our goal is actually to go backwards from here back to there. That's what factoring is, right? It's taking something that is a product and breaking it into pieces of its product, the parts, the factors that make it up. Like 15, two factors would be 3 times 5. So we want to end up from the product back to its factors. Again, notice, to get here, we multiplied to get c, and those two factors are what we got out here from our outer and inner terms. They added up to get the b value. And that is why we look to see what factors of this number, c, also add up to that middle number, b. Oh, it's a beautiful thing, and it's all in foiling. It's just going backwards. So how do we do this going backwards? Well, you can list out the factors of 24. We're going to pretend like we don't know what the answer is, right? So the factors of 24, I'll write that as a list. So I'll say factors of 24. And just list them out. Start at 1. Be organized. 1 and 24. 2 goes into 24 12 times. 3 goes into 24 8 times. 4 goes into 24 6 times. And you could go to 6. But the second you go to 6, you have the same pair. Then you'd have 8 and 3, 12 and 2, 24 and 1. It'd be a repeat. We don't need repeats. So the second that you start repeating, that's how you know you're done with your list. So these are the possible two numbers that go here and here. But our test, as we saw here, is which of these factor pairs will combine either by adding or subtracting. And it's up to you what you want to do with them to get 2. Well, 1 and 24 could be added to get 25. They could both be negative and get negative 25. 1 could be positive and 1 could be negative. You get some version of 23. So that's out, right? So we're done with that. 2 and 12, you could add them to get some version of 14, either positive or negative. Well, or subtract them and get some version of 10. So that's out. We want 2 again, right? That's our value that we want out. 3 and 8, we could add them and get 11, or we could subtract them and get 5. These two, 4 and 6, we could add to get 10 or subtract to get 2. And so now at this point, you know that you are going to have something that starts here. You know you're going to have an x and an x here. And the reason why you know that is because x times x is the only way to get x squared. Remember, our answer is actually getting back here. I started with the answer and I'm showing you how to get back to it. X times x gives you x squared. Now from here, I need 4 and 6. So I'm just going to put them in. It doesn't matter where you put them. And now it's up to you to play Math Puppet Master, where you're choosing the signs. Well, you already know that you want a negative 2. To get that, 6 would have to be negative, because negative 6 plus 4 gives you negative 2. So that's plus 4 minus 6. And how do you check your answer? you FOIL like we did, and we get back to where we started. Pretty sweet. Okay, so I'm going to do the same kind of idea with the second problem just to kind of throw that one home, and then I think we'll be in good shape as to the why behind this. That's what we're going after here. If you're like, I'm good at the why at this point, then shut off the video. Go on to the next video that goes over practicing how to do this, and you'll be in awesome, awesome shape. Okay, so again, let's take a look at this. We FOIL, we get w squared, w times w. Outer, w times 4 is 4w. Inner, 5 times w is 5w. Last, 5 times 4 is 20. Notice again that 5 times 4 are the factors that give us 20, and they're also then added together. Those are the factors to get us the middle term. So again, to be clear, our problem actually starts here. Our goal is to get from here back to there. And in later problems, I'm just going to give you this and none of that other information. So again, we want the factors of 20. So I'll just put a capital F for factors of 20. Well, that'd be 1 and 20. 2 goes into 20 10 times. 3 doesn't go into 20. 4 does 5 times. And now 5 goes into 20, but that would be 5 and 4. And so you know that you'd start repeating everything but flipped. So we know that between these factors, they have to combine to give us 9 by adding or subtracting. That's the combining of like terms going on right there. Oh, it's beautiful when the y becomes clear. 1 and 20 can be added to give us 21 or subtracted to give us 19. That's not going to do it. We want 9. 2 and 10 can be added to give us 12 or subtracted to give us 8. That's not going to give us 9. 4 and 5 can be added to give us 9. And we want it to be a positive 20. So let's kind of build this here. We know that it's 2 parentheses. And again, that there's a w and a w because the first gives us w squared. Nice. 4 and 5 are the pair that's going to give us 20. So let's put it in there because it's also going to combine to give us 9. To get 9, positive 9, they both would have to be positive. And when you FOIL it out, you would end up right back here, which means you know you're right. And that's the key with all of this. We understand that we can multiply this out to get back here. It's like saying, how do you check if your division's correct? You multiply. I'll give you an example. 16 divided by 2 is 8. How do we know that's true? Because 8 times 2 is 16. That's all we're doing here. We're dividing, we're factoring, and we're checking our answer by multiplying out. And I'll go over more of that in a later video. The number one idea here, you're looking for what multiplies to give you this term, C, that combines with addition or subtraction to give you that B term. And then you've got your factors. Oh, I can't wait to practice some more with you.